What's up, everybody? My name is Lee Shaner, and you're tuned into You Feel Me. Where are you from, Mike? I should say, where are you from, Smrtdeath?
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm from Canada.
You're from Canada?
Yeah.
What part?
Winnipeg, Manitoba. Do you know where that is? Have you ever heard of that place?
I've heard of Winnipeg.
Yeah?
And I've heard of Manitoba. I didn't know that Manitoba was a province and not a city. Mm-hmm. So, you know, my Canadian geography
Winnipeg,
is not good.
If you've heard of Winnipeg, that's more than most people.
Because you guys got a hockey team, the Winnipeg Oilers?
Jets. Edmonton Oilers.
Edmonton. I was close.
Still Canadian.
Yeah,
you were in the right country.
And so what side of Canada is that on?
It's right in the middle.
It's right in the middle.
It's like above like Minneapolis. And shit like that. Or like whatever.
Like Minnesota.
Yeah. And what's above that? North Dakota or something?
I think Minnesota's right at the top of the country. My geography is not great either.
My geography is so bad. Like American geography, really bad.
I think North Dakota and Minnesota are next to each other. Neither is on top of one another. But I could be wrong about that. Who knows?
I have no idea.
I'm also from a cold area. I'm from Alaska.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Winters there, bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really bad.
Seasonal affective disorder, yes or no?
Yeah, you get real bummed.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
How long have you been in California now?
I moved here last year.
And has it made a big change in like just overall quality of life or what? Where were you before that?
Yeah, I was literally in Winnipeg till I moved here, and it is better living here.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like it here. I was very isolated in Winnipeg. Like I had my friends and stuff, but I was like mostly spent most of my time alone.
Yeah.
Just like kind of being productive, working on music and stuff, but just like it is, I don't know. It's a better feeling to like be around people or to have the option to always be around people. Cause like nobody has a job here.
Right.
Everybody's hanging out.
Los Angeles is the land of not knowing how your friends pay their rent.
Right.
Like you meet all these cool people and you're like, I see you out everywhere. I have no idea how the fuck you survive.
No, you don't seem to do anything.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
Good for you.
But you seem cool. You just got out of Canada. What was it like growing up there?
It was cool.
Were you a hockey player?
I played hockey a bit.
Yeah.
I played basketball too. Till not for that long because then I stopped growing and everyone else kept growing.
Yeah.
Short guy.
That's what happens.
But yeah, I wasn't like big into hockey, but I liked I would go play like at like the outdoor rinks, like the ODRs.
Okay.
Just like for fun.
Yeah.
Not like super competitively.
So what you're telling me is that Ned would probably skate circles around you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because Ned,
he's from a hockey fam.
Yeah, he's from a hockey family. He claims he's a goon.
Yeah.
He used to have the most penalty minutes on his team and stuff.
That's tight.
But I do beat him. Well, we're pretty even actually, but we play NHL, the video game together. And the only two people in Los Angeles that
I was
going to
say everybody else is like either on 2K or FIFA or something.
No one else knows what we talk about. We call it Chell too. That's what you call it. But he'll be like, you know, Chell? And then people, like it literally happened the other day. We were making music. He's like, well, let's play a game of Chell before you leave in our other phone. I was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Yeah. Chell as in NHL.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Took me a second.
It's like some Canadian shit.
Yeah, but I figured it out.
Or I guess maybe it's just something. I feel it seems like a Canadian abbreviation to me.
Is like Winnipeg up in the sticks kind of? Or is it a big city? What is it?
It's like a small big city. Like there's like a reasonable amount of people, but it's a very poorly organized city, or it's got a lot of urban sprawl.
Yeah.
So like people are just in random areas. You know what I mean?
Meaning like, was there a suburban move where everybody's kind of on the outskirts of the city now?
Yeah, kind of. And there's just like tons of like random suburban places, and then the downtown is like kind of whack and not popping. It's not like most other cities you would like go downtown and there's like stuff. There it's like a lot of empty buildings.
Is it big enough to have tours come through? Like do concerts go through Winnipeg or does it get skipped over?
It gets skipped over a lot.
Yeah.
It's like it's a super weird like mid-market. So you either like, if you're like a touring band that's Canadian and you know bands there, you would like always come through.
Yeah.
But then you wouldn't probably come through again until you're playing like a few thousand cap venues.
Right.
Then every time they've tried to have a venue there that kind of fills that void, it just kind of fails.
to me, it sounds like you're kind of, like you said, you're a little isolated, not only just geographically, but it sounds like a bit musically as well. Like, how did you start finding yourself delving into meeting other musicians and becoming like part of a scene?
On the internet, yeah. Like, especially like for everything I'm doing now.
Yeah.
It was just like being on Twitter, being on Instagram, stuff like that. And then also like meeting people, and then also I would it didn't seem like it at the time, but in retrospect, it's like I would make an effort to like leave and go to stuff. So like first I would be like going to Toronto, like from Winnipeg.
How far is that?
It's like a 2.5 hour flight.
Okay.
So it's like not that far. But
You would not
drive.
Flight.
You can't. Yeah. Canada's like the least drivable place.
Bro, I drove from Alaska to California.
Oh my God.
It was like a 4-day trip. 3 days of it was Canada.
Yeah.
Like, it was so huge.
Yeah, it's giant.
Yeah, and some of it was like, sometimes we would stop random places and it would be like an episode of Tales from the Crypt or something. Like, it just seemed like you're in a bizarro world. It was so strange.
Ghost towns type
yeah,
vibes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you couldn't drive to Toronto. You would hop on a flight.
Yeah, I would get a flight. So first I would like go out there and like play a show out there and like meet some people out there, and then eventually I started coming out here because I knew some people out here.
Yeah.
Then I like would play a show out here, and then I started like coming out here more and more. And then I would go here. Then I would go to like New York sometimes. It was really just those. I was like, oh, those are the main ones.
Yeah.
Like Toronto for Canada, and then like here in New York.
Let me ask you this. You have like a very rock star look, you know what I'm saying? Like, you dress the part, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are the type of physical appearance where you would walk in a room and people would be like, oh, that must be somebody, right?
Thank you. That's a compliment, right? Not a diss?
There's not a diss whatsoever.
Playing.
No, I'm not being condescending. I'm just saying, like, you know, you're out here. So, was that something that you've been doing a long time, or is that a relatively new development with the music, or were you the kid in high school that everybody would be like, what's he gonna wear to school today?
I think I was always dressing.
Yeah. I'd be dressing.
Yeah.
They called you Ranch?
They called me Ranch.
Yeah.
But it was always like different, like way different styles as maybe like I don't know, when I was in high school to now, but still.
Were you always trying on kind of different looks? Meaning, like, were you like, okay, this year I'm a punk, this year I'm a rap kid, this year I'm this?
Trying on a bunch of different looks, and then also spent a lot of my time as like a skater kid.
Okay.
So like that has its own like fashion. But less so now because everything in the world is mainstream now at all times. I feel like nothing's underground. But that shit used to still be underground, and it was always ahead of the curve. So I'd always be dressing like how everyone dressed like a year or two later.
Yeah, right.
And then now I just dress like weird. But I've been doing that, like dressing more crazy for a while. But now I think I might switch it up and become a regular guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Just like Clark Kent or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, cut your hair, have just like a nice little part.
I can't cut my hair. I look weird.
Really?
I've had long hair for like so long.
What I find interesting is how different you look just between having no mustache and having a mustache.
It's crazy, right?
You look like an entirely different human.
I look like a baby.
Yeah, different human.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Different nationality even. I would have almost, with the mustache, I would have been like, oh, maybe he's Chicano. I'm not sure.
That's funny. Yeah. One of the first videos I ever put out that like started popping off, a bunch of people commented and said I looked like Mexican Bones.
Yeah.
Which I found to be very funny.
That is very funny.
Because I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
Like
that's a very funny comparison.
Yeah.
The music that you make is very rooted in today, right? But part of me thinks that you've been working on other stuff previously and maybe found this sound as you went along, but I feel like you've probably made different music in the past. Is that a correct assumption?
Yeah,
or no?
definitely. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. What kind of other stuff were you making in the past?
Like when I was like a younger kid, I played instruments and stuff. I like played drums and like basement bands. Like we wouldn't even like play shows or anything. And then like played guitar on my own and like messed around with stuff like that. And then...
What got you wanting to pick up a guitar? Was there a particular band that did it for you?
I don't even know. No, it was honestly, it was like I saw one of my friends was playing the guitar, and he showed me how to play like Smoke on the Water and Iron Man, and I was like, oh, this isn't that hard.
Yeah.
Because there's the two easiest things you can do on guitar.
Right.
Like just like the one string riffs. And so then I just started.
Is Smoke on the Water the do 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 do? Or no,
it's dun 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 dun
yeah.
dun.
That's Iron Man, right?
Oh no, that's Iron Man.
Yeah.
What the hell? What's Smoke on the Water? Oh, Smoke on the Water. Dun dun dun.
Oh yeah,
dun
dun, dun, dun. That's funny.
I don't know it.
Yeah,
that's so funny that we both got it wrong.
My first guitar thing was Pennywise Bro Hymn Tribute, because it's the same thing. You just play on one string.
Right? Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And then it makes you feel like it's easy.
Yeah.
And then I just started looking up guitar tabs and like learning random songs. And then I think my uncle showed me how he played guitar. He showed me how to like do chords.
Some chords, yeah.
Because I feel like that would have been harder to learn on my own. And then I just like went from there.
And so were you writing like singer-songwriter stuff back then, or were you writing punk stuff? What
I
were
was
you writing?
bad stuff.
Yeah.
Like I would try
Teen angst shit.
Yeah, like teen angst stuff. Like shitty like punky riffs or like pop punky riffs or like shitty like finger picking like indie rock things that I think is cool.
Right.
In retrospect, real bad. But everything's bad at that time.
Right.
And then became a rapper.
Yeah.
And then
What kind of rap?
like college backpack rap.
Yeah, I heard that you were like a big Atmosphere fan.
I still am. Hell yeah.
I collaborated with Atmosphere once,
that's
and I was
sick.
like very excited about that. Still am to this day.
Yeah,
So
legend.
you went through a whole phase of that stuff. That
Yeah.
seems very Canadian of you. Like,
Yeah, it's definitely Canadian. Most of the rap in Canada still to this day is
Yeah.
like that. Or I guess less so now. That's not true. There's like cool people.
Yeah.
It took a long time.
Are you allowed to reveal your rap name from that era? Was it the same?
It was like pretty much the same.
Oh, okay.
It was similar. It's so just recently some people found this really old EP that I made with my friend when I think I was in, I don't know, very like just out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, well, that's great that y'all found this. But
Yeah.
I don't really care if people find it, but I don't want to send them looking for it.
Is it something that you look back on fondly or with embarrassment or like?
A bit of both.
Yeah.
I did the stuff I did by myself is a little less embarrassing, but I was also in a rapping band with another guy.
Yeah.
That was way more embarrassing.
Oh, like live instruments and rapping?
No,
Oh.
I just like to call it a rapping band.
Okay.
But like DJ, hype man, me and another guy rapping, and a lot of weed rap,
Yeah.
a lot of that.
Yeah.
Not doesn't hold up,
It could get juggalo-ish very quickly. I'm sure.
It could, but it more just was like nerdy.
Okay.
A lot of lyrical miracles, you
Yeah.
know?
Well,
yeah, I was big into that
Spiritual Cheerios.
shit. In the swimming pool.
Yeah, exactly. So did you just know like music is what it's going to be? I wasn't planning for college at all, like no backup plan.
I have a degree.
Oh yeah, where'd you go to school?
I went to the University of Winnipeg.
Okay.
I went for 6 years to get a 4-year degree.
Yeah.
And I have a degree.
'Cause you had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like working and like doing random shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like going to school, like college or university or whatever in Canada is way different than the States. It's not so expensive. Especially like where I was going, it's like, I don't know, it's not like a crazy school,
Yeah.
But I have a degree in English and creative writing.
Sick.
Yeah, I wanted to write books originally, and then what I was doing before I started kind of getting successful with music was trying to write a TV show.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of what I was trying to like do. I was doing music and like trying to do that too at the same time while like working at a bar.
In Canada.
And delivering pizza, yeah.
What was the plan with like when you have the script written? What was the plan to get it seen?
I have a friend who
Yeah.
works for a script reading company.
No shit.
So that was my
I didn't
whole
even know
plan.
that's a thing, and I live in LA.
Yeah, it's a thing. He doesn't live in LA.
Yeah.
But
Oh, okay.
But the company is like based in LA. But you can read scripts from anywhere. It's just you just need an iPad.
And then it's like,
I was like, I'll give him the script. He's gonna be like, this is the best thing I've ever read. Here, give it to the studios. Here's a bunch of money and a TV show on, I don't know,
Hell
Comedy
yeah.
Central.
it's never too late. Are you still
That's
working
true.
on that?
No, I gave it up completely. The show was it was okay.
Yo, man, some of my friends who were and are still musicians now have been selling TV shows. It's like you can do it all kind of now.
Right, Open Mike Eagle has a show, right?
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. Like
hell yeah.
I've known Mike for like 15 years.
That's sick.
And now he's got like 2 TV shows, and it's like fantastic to watch.
I opened for him at this Canadian festival, like maybe like I'm gonna say 5 or 6 years ago, but it was probably even more than that. I'm really bad at like conceptualizing how much time has passed. But at like this weird festival in Saskatchewan or Regina, which is like even more shitty than Winnipeg.
Right.
And when I was still like rapper, and he thought I was cool, and that was a big deal. He followed me on Twitter after that, and I was really hyped.
Get out.
Still follows me.
You guys like met in real life,
Yeah.
and he was like, I'm going to follow you on Twitter.
He just followed me
Just
afterwards. I noticed it, and I was like, God damn, that's crazy.
You're like, Mama, we made it.
Yeah, it was sick to me. He enjoyed me at the show. He was like, hey, man, that was cool. And I was like, damn.
That's
hell
tight.
Yeah. It was
Mike is
hype.
a fantastic Twitterer while we're talking about that as well. I feel like
Twitter.
just all of his tweets are so whimsical. And yeah, so my point is
triple threat. TV, Twitter, rapping.
Twitter, rap, he does it all. Were you making your own beats when you were doing the backpacker raps?
No.
No.
But the beats were like so minimal a lot of the time that it was like I would find a sample and my friend would like add a snare over top of the snare, you know?
And you'd be like, let's get loose.
Yeah, not much. It was like pretty much breakbeats or like just like looping a 4-bar thing from a song, like super simple.
Yeah.
And then also this one dude who would make a beats for us, we found out that he was just stealing a lot of the beats. He would find them online and pretend like he made them.
Of course.
And we'd be like, oh, that's sick. And I started noticing as people would comment. I used to like make shitty music videos for every song. My friend had a shitty green screen off Amazon, just like a green piece of paper essentially. So we would just every song, finish the song, go film me half knowing the words in front of the green screen, like on like some little B shit.
Yeah.
And
then
just put whatever random shit.
Yeah,
like whatever like cartoons or movies we were like into that day. And then people there was like it was like a very small, very low amount of views, like, you know, lower than 1,000 views, but people would start commenting like, hey, that's my beat. And I was like, hey, man, why does this guy say it's his beat? And I would like go and like click on his shit. And then I would see the beat. And I would be like, what's up? What's up with that?
Yeah.
But that guy ended up being a psycho. So
no shit.
May he rot.
What sites was he stealing it from? What era is this? SoundCloud?
Yeah, the SoundCloud. This is like probably stealing them off YouTube more. A little bit of SoundCloud, but SoundCloud was more still like dance music then.
Yeah, it was like pretty new at that point.
Yeah, like it didn't. I was putting my shit on like Bandcamp more. So.
That's what I was gonna ask. Did you start off as a Bandcamp kid? Because that's kind of where the backpackers go, right?
Yeah,
to Bandcamp.
There's definitely shit on Bandcamp.
Yeah. What is the transition away from? Like, were there any steps between the backpack rap into the I guess what kids would call modern emo rap or something, but I don't really. You're more of a crooner than a rapper.
I call it just rock and roll.
Just
baby.
For real. Were there some steps in between there?
Yeah, a lot of steps. There was like I started doing even like when I was doing the backpack rap shit, I would start doing like some like melodic stuff at the same time, like realizing like, oh, I could like sing the hook or like. Even just like fucking around with like doing like little octaves like that, like a higher like backup or something or shit, you know what I mean? Just like fucking with shit.
4-part harmonies and shit.
Yeah, 4-part harmony. And like just like huge stacks, Imogen Heap kind of sound. No.
Oh.
You know, but like shit like that. And then I started doing
at that time with the backpack shit, were you like, you know what, I want to sing, but we can't use autotune.
Yeah. 100%.
You're like anti-autotune, I bet, right?
Yeah, anti-autotune. I remember specifically one time making this song with my one friend, and he was like, oh, let me just like put a little bit of autotune on there. And I was like, nah, like you don't need it.
Fuck that, bro. We're not sellouts.
Yeah. And then he was like, okay, well, like, let me just check. And he was like, listening. He's like, oh, you're actually like on pitch. Good for you. I probably sang better then than I can sing now.
Right.
But now I love autotune.
Right. Of course.
You gotta like, I had to unlearn all my backpacky ways.
Yeah. It's just like anything else. You can just use it stylistically, man. It becomes a tool. It's not not a crutch, a tool. So, okay. After you start singing
I was singing some little melodies, and then I started working with my one friend who I still work with to this day. He's called Audio Opera, and he had like, to me at the time, well, and still now actually, just like the crazy beats. And he was making like, I don't know, like probably at the time he was also making like witch house shit or something, and like weird electronic shit.
Witch house is a genre that I've had explained to me probably 20 times, and I can never remember what the fuck witch house is.
It's like it's just like dark and cool.
Yeah,
it's like old Thrax shit they used to rap over like witch house beats.
Okay.
And like Picture Plane would be like credited with witch house probably.
Okay.
Salem.
I know Salem. I know Picture Plane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like lo-fi.
Okay.
Spooky.
I got you.
It's cool.
Yeah. It was a real wave.
It was a wave.
Yeah.
This should bring it back.
So your buddy was making like kind of witch house shit?
He was making like witch house shit and like other shit too, like all kinds of shit. But then I started doing like some like more like just singy songs over shit like that. And he was also making some stuff with his vocals where he would either use like vocoder and shit, but then also autotune. And I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, let me try it out. And I remember we made one song one time with autotune, which is like, this is like still very far from what my shit is like now, but I remember the first time doing it, and I was like trying to do shit like Thug.
Oh yeah,
and I did okay, like for the time, for myself, and I was
when
like,
you say shit like Thug, do you mean like just vocal variations? Like
yeah,
him?
like crazy,
yeah,
just like going way up
wherever
and down.
you wanted.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, this is like hella fun. And then I started doing everything with autotune.
Yeah,
and like singing, and then just naturally my voice is like whinier, and then I was doing like just like old melodies of like shit I used to listen to, kind of like old pop punk melodies, like emo sounding melodies, over these beats that weren't like, none of them had guitars or anything yet. They were like still like not normal beats, but like they just didn't have guitars and shit.
Right.
And then this same dude would tell me, he was like, yo, you gotta stop doing that Blink-182 shit. He was like, you gotta be like harder. And I was like, I don't know, like I think this is cool.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember. I think maybe he made a beat with the guitar, and I was like, "Oh, this is sick." And then I started like looking, like seeking those beats out, more stuff like that.
At a certain point, I feel like as white dudes that grew up listening to pop punk and also to rap music, you just have to admit to yourself when you start singing that sometimes you're bound to sound like Blink-182. Because I've been accused of that as well, and I'm like, I can't help it. That's just like,
it's natural.
That's just how I sound.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I feel that 100%.
Yeah, like you just can't help but be fucking Blink-182 sometimes.
I say that I just steal both of them. I'll do it when I have a low voice, I sound like Mark, and if I do a high voice, it sounds like Tom.
Yeah, and you put them together and you just...
It's nothing I can do.
Doing the Blink-182 harmonies. Are you like a voracious music listener? Like, do you obsessively listen to music?
I used to be. I used to like listen to music an insane amount all the time.
And now you're probably only listening to beats you're writing to or what have you.
Now I listen to like such a small... No, now all I do is watch TV.
Yeah. All I do is listen to podcasts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird because I find myself like, I miss listening to music like that, but I just don't have the same... There's like certain things for sure that I'll listen to, and I still do the same thing that I do when a kid. Like if I listen to an album and I like it, I'll listen to that shit every day for like months.
Yeah.
Like...
That's tight. I haven't found an album like that in so long.
The last Culture Abuse album was like that.
I
for
love
me.
Culture Abuse though.
It's
Yeah,
just so good.
Yeah, that was a good one. What was their first one? Peach.
Peach. Yeah,
I really like
Daydream.
Peach a lot.
Yeah, Peach is great. Yeah. Daydream was the most recent one that I still like listen to on the regular.
Okay.
But yeah, I listen to a lot less music, but I still always will know about stuff just through osmosis.
Following the right people on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. Ned knows everything.
That's it. Yeah,
all the time.
I guess the reason I asked if you were a voracious music listener is because I'm like, all these times where you're experimenting with different things, I feel like maybe you must have been discovering new scenes and going like, oh, maybe I should throw some of that in the gumbo as well, right?
Yeah.
Was it after the Thugger stuff where you start hearing dudes like Wicca Phase and Peep and all these guys that you become associated with? Or
I heard
met them?
I heard Horsehead first.
Numb?
And no, not Numb. I've had this conversation with him so many times, and he will remember the name of the song after we like talk about it for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
But it was like some video where he was like walking around, like, you know, looking sad, wearing a NASCAR hat.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like this is like similar to like this. Like, no, this is, see, other people are doing this. Because nobody's doing that shit in Canada at the time. Now there are people, but like there was I had nothing to grab onto to be like when my buddy would be like, yeah, don't do like Blink-182 shit, and I'd be like, nah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I saw that and I was like, haha. And then like started like seeing more of those dudes. I don't even think, or maybe people may have been putting shit out then, but I didn't find out about him
I found out about Horsehead before people as well.
I found out about him on when Beamer Boy came out.
Oh yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe no, that's not true. I heard like when he was making like some rappier shit. I heard that before, but Beamer Boy was the song I heard, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
this is it.
The old head in me when I first heard of Peep wanted to like. Was like physically rejecting it, like I can't. This is not what music should be. And Ned was like, "What do you think of Lil Peep?" And I was like, "I don't know. I feel like he sound like everybody else." And he goes, "Nah, bro, you're wrong. Like, go listen to the EP that I made with him, the California Girls shit." And then actually, that was a record that I listened to for like a month straight.
Yeah, that shit is good.
That's my favorite release of his. I love that EP.
Yeah.
When you first see Horsehead, and that video where he's walking with the NASCAR hat, is your instinct to be like, oh, I should reach out to these guys?
Yeah, I tried to reach out to him on Facebook, but he didn't respond to me.
Yeah. What a diva.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Now, there would be no reason for... I feel like he probably had like 1,000 likes on Facebook, and I probably had like 100. So, you know what? That's
so, you know, the clout wasn't there yet.
No one's clout was there yet. But he didn't respond to me then. And then I forget who like I ended up linking up with first out of anybody. But there's my one friend... Wolfdrawn is his who he knew. I think he knew them. He knew Chris and he knew Jay Coldheart.
Yeah.
And I think I might have met Chris through him.
Okay.
In the end. But then, I don't know. Everything, I'm so bad at remembering how my life progressed. But, then I when I came, because I remember there was some moment where I like came out here and I was out here, I think for Nature World, like, I forget, like 2 years ago.
The Cameron one?
The one where Pete played. Was that the Cameron one?
I don't know.
The Cameron one might have been after.
Yeah.
Not the final one, but I don't know. I remember I met Chris at that and then ended up going to his house the next day to get tattooed by that fool Death Beach.
Oh, yeah.
Because that guy didn't have a shop at the time. And so he was like, yo, can you come here to get tattooed? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And then didn't realize it was like in Whittier.
Oh.
So we went to Whittier and got a tattoo, yeah. But it was chill. And then around that same time, I met like Lil Aaron too. And he introduced me to this dude, Y2K.
Was your hair already red at that point?
Yeah.
So when you and Lil Aaron stood next to each other, were people like
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That joke's
I said it in a song.
There you go.
Yeah, the first song we ever made.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just us saying our names over and over.
Yeah. It's almost like opposing laser tag teams or something.
Yeah, hell yeah. Or like fucking Star Wars.
Yeah, for real.
That sucks though. Then I'm the bad guy. Damn.
Yeah, you're a Sith.
I feel like green is kind of more of a villainous color.
I think it's a neutral color.
Green?
Yeah. I associate red with evil, blue with good, and
green's in the middle.
Green is in the middle, at least in the Star Wars universe.
What about in Kim Possible? The bad girl was
Homie,
green.
I'm almost 40. I don't know what the fuck Kim Possible is. Get out of here. I don't have kids yet.
How old do you think I am from looking at me?
That's why I was kind of trying to gauge by asking where you were stealing your beats from. Because if you would have been like, oh, I was releasing it on MySpace, I'd be like, oh, you're like 31. Mm-hmm. But if you were like, oh, yeah, no, it was SoundCloud, I'd be like, oh, maybe you're 24. Yeah. You're one of those people, I can't tell your fucking
I could be any age,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
I'm 27.
You're 27, yeah. And so, see, once you hit around 35, everyone between 40 and 20 kind of looks the same age.
Yeah.
Could go either way. You know what I'm saying?
That's very true.
Yeah, yeah.
I have friends who you would be like, you look at them and you'd be like, oh, that guy's like, I don't know, like 23. And then you find out like, oh, you're like, oh shit.
What's funny is that maybe you're feeling this right now, right? Because when I was 27 making music, that's when I felt like I was finally starting to figure shit out, right? And it was starting to make sense and I was gaining a little bit of traction. Mm-hmm. But I also felt like, oh my God, I'm 27 and everyone that's popping off is like 21 or 18 and like it's too late for me. Do you feel those footsteps already?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I feel old, but then I think it helps that like a lot of my peers are like of a similar age,
right?
So then I don't feel as burnt.
Because here's what I will say in hindsight now is that I was dumb as shit for thinking that 27 was too old because all my friends that stuck with it for an additional 10 years, like Mike Eagle, are the ones that are like really fucking seeing the success. Right. You know what I mean? Like when you just keep your head down and keep doing what you're doing, then like not only does the music work out, but all the other shit that you want to do works out.
Things just fall into place.
That's right. So just like don't listen to your stupid brain going like, oh, you're too old, you know? Yeah, fuck all that.
Just keep on trucking.
That's it, man.
That's good advice. I'm glad to hear that.
That's real.
Honestly.
Yeah. Because 27 was that age where I was like, it's working, but I'm too old. Fuck, what do I do? What do I do?
People will always like, they'll ask me, and they'll ask me in the weirdest way, but they'll be like, how old are you? Are you 20?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, no, I'm 27. They're like, oh. And I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's not like that old. But then I'm like, yeah,
I'll tell you,
get in your head about it.
Grow that little fucking wormy mustache back because it makes you look 21, bro.
Man, I just got over it now. I like being a clean man. clean shaven.
Yeah.
That'll be my move when I get hit 30.
Thanks for tuning in. Skullcandy wanted to show you some love for listening by hooking you up with 15% off your next purchase. Head over to skullcandy.com and use the code YouFeelMe19 at checkout to get 15% off anything site-wide. So now that you are 27 and we're open about it on the podcast, I usually try not to ask people's age because I feel like they get embarrassed about it or something. But
I don't care. Fuck it.
I love the age of 27 because you've lived just enough to where you like have some other experiences. So tell me about those. Like while you've been on your hustle, what kind of weird jobs have you had? Like what was life like during the pursuit?
I've had a bunch of jobs. I had some cool jobs and then some shitty jobs. I worked at a skate park for a while, which was sick, but you can only do it in the summer.
Now, like, do you got tricks still? Like, could you get on a board?
I could go to a skate park and probably land one trick that looks impressive. Yeah. That might be impressive. But not like I used to.
Yeah.
I used to be okay. I was never that good.
Yeah.
I was like good enough that I would have fun, but then I would like take photos of everybody else skating that was like actually good, because if we go to like some like big stair set or handrail, I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, that was my MO too with snowboarding. That's how I like actually got my degree in commercial photography. And it was because as a kid, I was like, oh, I want to be a pro snowboarder. And then I was like, oh, wait, never mind. I'm like the worst out of all my friends at this, but I could take pictures of them.
Yeah.
Because you still get to go on the trip if you got a camera.
Exactly. And that shit's still fun too.
Yeah,
and then you get excited about photography.
Yeah, totally.
Which is fun.
So the skate park job was cool?
Skate park job was cool, but then I would like deliver pizza also at the same time.
Yeah.
Which I did for like several years, which was sick job because I would write songs in the car.
Of course. That's the best place to write songs.
Yeah, dude, I love that shit. I would listen to beats and just like come up with shit. And I would get hella free food, which is great because I was broke at the time.
Yeah.
And eventually the dude who was the manager there, like they would make you, because the way that they paid you was like weird, but it was like, and I ended up like making like a pretty good amount of money for like what it is, but they would make you like hang out there the whole time, and like you would have to like help out and shit in the kitchen if there's like shit like it gets too busy or whatever. But this one dude was like, oh man, if you're not like delivering shit, like whatever, like you can dip. So I would just like leave and go and like record shit.
Yeah.
And like still be getting paid technically. And they just call me when I had to go back, and I go back and do it.
Yeah, that's a pretty cush job.
It was good.
I think like a lot of people sleep on that don't make music, is that part of the pursuit is trying to find jobs that fit your weird fucking lifestyle.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Back before I grew up and got like real jobs, I guess, if this is even a real job, it's like I would always be looking for something where I could work maybe like a half day in the morning and then maybe some night hours, but have most of the day off. Yeah. So that I could like work during the day on shit or just whatever, like anything that seemed like outside of the norm, so I could like do more creative shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Some flexibility.
Yeah, super flexible.
I would have like, I would start work at like, I would work 6 p.m. till 1:30 a.m. But I would have like the whole day, and then eventually I was like having like half of my shift, like leave and like go do shit. Yeah. And then I bartended for a long time. That was the last job I had before I like stopped. That's a
working. Great hustle.
It was great.
Bartending is a great side hustle.
I made hella bread, and it was my friends to bar. They like owned and ran the bar. So when I started, like the shit started happening with music, and they're all like fools that like they play in bands and shit, so they like get it. Yeah. And so I'd be like, yo, I gotta like leave and go do this thing. They would never be like, oh, I don't know. They'd be like, all right, just like we'll figure it out. You can like take this time. Like even when sometimes I'd be like, yo, like can I like I need to leave in like 2 days. Yeah. They'd be like, yeah, fuck it, like whatever. Right. So that shit helped a lot. And then I was making bread, but I was drinking a shit ton.
Were you?
Yeah.
Are you sober now or what?
No.
Just like calm down.
Yeah, just like have a better handle on it. Also, like you're like I'm like in Winnipeg, being like, I wish I was like out of here, but still working. And then like I don't know, bartenders tend to drink.
Where were you living in Winnipeg? Were you at your own place? Were you with your folks?
I moved out. I was in like a bunch of different apartments.
Say out and about.
Out about.
Okay, you don't sound super Canadian.
It's like it's more regional. Okay. Yeah, it's not. There's a couple different accents in Canada, and depending on what Canadian media people have seen, they'll expect you to sound like one of a couple ways. Like Trailer Park Boys is like only like fools from the Maritimes. Yeah. Like that doesn't exist. Yeah. Out in most of Canada. Yeah. And then Toronto is really where you get the And more like, and then now you have like that weird like the shit that like Drake talks like like Toronto man.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I interrupted you though. Where were you staying in Winnipeg?
When I first like moved out of my parents' crib, I was staying in like a 3-bedroom apartment with like, I don't know, like between like 6 and 8 people type shit,
like crash pad type shit.
And like paying like $200 in rent to like live in a room that like wasn't supposed to be a room. It was supposed to be probably like not a closet, but like, you know, like hella small.
Yeah, like a den.
Yeah.
Were they all creatives as well?
Yeah, it was like all fools who, for the most part, all fools who like played in bands and shit. And so then like there'd be, you know, like a couple girls who didn't play in bands but hung out with the people who
That's
played
what I
in
was going to
bands.
ask, actually. Like, social life in a medium to small size city like that must be running in small circles. Are you kind of like, are all your friends... Are you guys all like dating the same girls and stuff? Or like
there's definitely like a lot of that
crossover.
Shit. Yeah, for sure. Because like the scenes are definitely small, and the scene that I was like most involved with, like where all my friends are there now, is like I guess like punk scene.
Oh yeah.
So there's like fools playing in punk bands, all wearing that leather jacket. You know.
What do your folks do? I bet your mom's a teacher.
My mom was a teacher for a bit. She taught in law school.
No shit.
Yeah.
So are they lawyers?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Are they disappointed that you're not a lawyer?
No, they're cool. They're like hella supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were your parents like for you as a kid? Demanding?
My parents were very strict on me as a kid to a point, and then I like kind of figured out how to just do whatever I want. And then they just I have a little sister, and they just let her do whatever the fuck she wanted.
Of course,
because I broke it down.
Brother. Yeah,
and I was like, man,
that's how it was for me too. I just have one younger brother, and he got away with anything.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't allowed to stay out overnight at my senior prom because my parents didn't want me getting fucked up and getting on drugs.
Yeah.
And then it turned out like my younger brother just got to like stay out on school night, like regular school nights. He would just not come home, and they didn't give a fuck.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Shit's crazy. Like I remember my mom used to get mad if I like wouldn't come home for dinner.
Right.
And I would be like, I'm trying to skate.
Yeah.
And then my sister would do whatever.
What sort of law was it?
My mom did family law.
Yeah.
And my dad does, I forget, but something more boring.
So they're like mad smart though?
Yeah, they're both smart.
Very cerebral house, I would imagine.
Yeah, they're
like
both.
Do your fucking homework.
Yeah. I mean, I was good at school.
Yeah.
I didn't really like. Yeah, I didn't like have to.
You didn't have to fight that.
I didn't have to really do much shit either to like get by in school. Like it was never like, I don't know. It was just like. Sounds dumb, but it was like easy for me. But like definitely, do your homework. But also like as a kid, I was like reading hella books and shit.
Yeah.
Like I was like not nerdy because I didn't like look like a nerd, but
curious.
Still like
you're curious.
Yeah, curious.
Yeah,
I was interested in the world.
Being that your parents are upstanding citizens, lawyers, very intelligent people, when does your physical appearance start taking this left turn into being covered with tattoos and stuff? And how did they react to that?
Well, I think even to this day, I think if you asked him if he could be honest, he'd probably be like, "Come on, man! Like you got why you got tattoos like on your hands and shit."
Yeah.
But they don't really care. My mom thinks it's cool.
Really?
Yeah, because my mom is like she was like, I don't know. She likes creative stuff. She was like would be like doing like acting when she was a kid and shit like that, like in plays and stuff.
Right.
So she's into like the whole creative world. So she thinks it's cool.
That's tight.
And she like. I tried for so long to like not have my because my dad like doesn't he like literally had like a razor until like a couple years ago and then finally got an iPhone and he still has whatever like iPhone 4 he still has like he doesn't give a fuck. He hates like the internet and all that shit. He'd be like mad, like old man mad at technology. Not to like call
old
you
man
old
yells
dad.
at cloud.
But like dead ass, that's like what he's like. And then my mom is like she's on the internet and shit, you know, on or my dad is too, but my dad will like go on YouTube and like watch a video. You know what I mean? He's not like on Twitter and shit.
And your mom's posting like hot girl summer memes and shit.
Yeah, but she like I tried like for so long. I like would tell them as little about what like I was doing as possible until it like kind of like trickled into my real life. You know, so I was like doing like oh I gotta like go this place to like do this thing and like shit like that. But now she like follows me on Twitter and I see her like liking my tweets and stuff and I'm like, damn, like I don't want you to like look
know.
at this stuff. And she'll be like, oh, like the new song's great. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, man. Like I said a bunch of swears.
She's like, stream Pink Lemonade.
yeah, right. I still feel bad, even though it's like I'm grown now, but it's like your mom, you know. You're
Yeah,
when you cuss or like saying something
Right.
horny on a song, like.
Well, that's what I was wondering, since you have like what I would assume or project as straight and narrow parents, if as you were doing your kind of like punk rock creative thing and living in fucking flop houses with a bunch of other creatives, if they were like, so Michael, when are you going to kind of get this show on the road and get your stuff together? No pressure like that?
Surprisingly not. Yeah, I don't know. My mom is like hella liberal.
Yeah.
And then my dad is more conservative, but like they were just like, because I was going to school when I was doing all that shit.
Yeah.
So I was still like doing something productive. Yeah. Like that's, you know, good. Like seemingly had a path. Although I switched my major in school like almost every year until I graduated, and then I just noticed I had been taking enough English classes the whole time.
And now it's like, you know, if the music doesn't work out, of course you can always fall back into that very steady job of TV show creating.
Yeah, of course, it'll be perfect. It's no problem.
It's not like you're falling from one pipe dream to another pipe dream.
They need more TV shows than ever, dude. Netflix, Prime.
Now Disney's got
Hulu,
one.
Yeah,
you're bound to get something. You know what I mean? You just fart on the papers and they'll buy the idea.
Come up with anything. There's some shitty ass Netflix shows.
Terrible.
I'll make one season of a shitty Netflix show. Fuck it, dude. I'll take the check.
Shows. When you start meeting Horsehead and all those fellas through Wolf Drawn, right?
Yeah.
How long is it after you visit LA before you're like, oh, okay, I need to move to LA?
I don't know. Probably after like coming here a couple times, I was like, damn, I would like should be out here. Like this is like beneficial, you know? And like also like just coming out here more and like meeting more people and always being like, oh shit, like I like you too. You know what I mean?
Like you're meeting kindred spirits.
Yeah, like making a bunch of friends who are like now like all my best friends, and like but then it's like the whole hurdle of I'm Canadian. Yeah. So like I can't just move here.
Yeah, how does that work?
So I had to get a visa, which took a long time to figure out.
Did you have to do one of those like special talent visas or whatever it's called?
Yeah, so I have an artist visa.
Oh, nice.
So I'm good for 3 years, and then you can renew it. And then I think after that, they make you get a green card if you still want to stay.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's also probably some like wiggle room there.
What's up, bro? You trying to become an American? You gonna fucking join the gang?
Nah, fuck that.
You're still Canada?
I just like, I don't know how it works, because like I want to be here for now, but if I become an old man, I would like to live in Canada again.
Because it's like better social benefits.
Yeah, and also just like, it's more chill.
Yeah.
The air is cleaner.
Yeah, true.
You know, or maybe like somewhere like just not LA, but if I was like an old dude, I want to live in like a cabin in BC or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And well, hopefully I would need a lot of money, but like, you know, some shit like that. If I can't make enough money, I'll live in a cabin in somewhere that gets freezing cold in the winter.
Yeah.
And I've lived through it. My skin is thick.
The kindred spirits that you start meeting, like Little Aaron. Who else is in Boyfriends? It's you, Little Aaron,
and Lotus.
It is Lotus. Okay,
yeah.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to sound wrong.
Yeah.
How does it feel to meet these dudes that are like in the same weird niche as you? Like, did you just feel like, oh,
I was
my people, I finally found them?
I really did feel like that. Yeah. It felt like oh shit, like that, which contributes to the feeling of being like, this is where I need to be. You're just like, oh yeah, like look, you guys are like doing the same thing, and like you like the same shit, and like we all get along. And like,
how long was it when the three of you are around each other before you decide like, oh wait, we need to like do a project together?
So the first time I like had been knowing Lotus online for a bit, but the first time I met him, we both came out here to stay with Aaron, and me and him were planning on making a tape. And we were like trying to work on it one time, and Aaron was like, well, shit, why don't we just like do it all three of us? And we made it, and then we were like, well, why not just make this like a project and like give it a name? And then we like, I think Aaron came up with Boyfriends too. He spearheaded the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then
he's a very methodical dude. I've talked to him a couple of times, and he just seems like he's got a plan and he'll stick to it.
He always has a plan. Yeah. He always has like a lot of plans.
Every group needs that guy.
That's true.
You know? Yeah.
And so then we just did that. We made it in like 2 nights. And we tried to use like fan beats. We like put out an email, and a lot of them were really bad. But then there was some good. Like there was a point where we were in the studio like listening to all those beats and being like, oh shit, like
we're fucked.
Yeah, like we're not gonna be able to do it. But we've found enough good ones and did it, and then put it out, and then didn't do anything with it for a long time, and then put out like a tiny EP like I don't know, last year or something.
Yeah.
And then people always still will ask, like, when's the new stuff? And we're like, I don't know.
Did you guys all get the BFZ tattoos?
Yeah, Lotus has it on his palm. Aaron has it on his, like, in here, I think. But yeah, we got that, like, I think the next time we came back after we had put it out, I think we all got the tattoos,
Tell me about your relationship with tattoos. Like, from what I can see of your arms and neck and stuff, you just got them everywhere, right? And this is not to sound condescending, but it might. But, like, there seems to be no theme, rhyme, or reason. It's a lot of them seem like they were just, like, spur of the moment, maybe, yeah?
Yeah.
How does that work?
I just like have always, even from when I was a little kid, I was like, I want to have like a million tattoos. And then
I used to feel that way too. And then I realized like, oh, they're fucking expensive. Like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they can be.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I have a lot of like free tattoos as well. And I just recently started like paying for tattoos. Yeah. And now I'm like, oh, tattoos are expensive.
They are expensive. Yeah. But when they're expensive, it's usually worth it.
Right.
But if you can become friends with that person,
that's true.
They can get less expensive.
How often would you say you're getting tattooed now? Is it something where you're seeking it constantly? Like, are you a bit addicted to it?
Yeah, I would say there probably isn't a day where I don't say out loud, like, I want to get tattooed. Like, damn, like, you know, like,
every day.
Probably, I always want to, but like, I'll go in waves where I'm getting tattooed like all the time.
Yeah,
and then I'll stop getting tattooed for a while, and then I'll start getting tattooed all the time. I try to now, because I fucked this up a lot when I was younger. I try to like, well, it doesn't matter now, actually, that I live here. I just realized. But I would get tattooed in the summer, or as the summer is like I have a bunch of tattoos healing in the summer, and then you can't go swimming.
Right.
Do a lot of summer activities.
Yeah. I actually quite enjoy getting tattooed. Like, I don't mind the pain of it. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, that's how I meditate, bro. Like I'm not one of those guys, but I'm like, I don't mind it. It's not that bad. Yeah. But the healing process is such a pain in the dick that's really what keeps me like from going back all the time. Cause I'm like, then you're just out for like a week basically, or 2 weeks, where it's just like, oh God, I have to like every hour put some lotion on, and like, what a pain in the ass.
Once you have as many tattoos,
you just don't give a fuck.
You just stop. Yeah. And you just let it be itchy, and it just heals.
Funny. Yeah.
But it still like makes you not be able to do shit.
Right. And is it like full torso and back? Are you everywhere right now?
Not my back, but like all of this shit is all tattooed. I'm rubbing my front as I say that. My whole chest and like stomach. To be fair,
I'm rubbing his front now too. You guys can't know.
I'm rubbing his front now as well.
Boyfriends.
But yeah, my whole chest, my stomach. I'm like working on tattooing my legs now.
Yeah.
This leg is like my one leg is like decently tattooed. The other one only has like shitty stick and pokes that have like faded now, because I was doing them when I was like really young.
Are you a visual artist? Do you ever see yourself tattooing anybody?
I suck at drawing. Okay. I have tattooed people before,
like as a ruse kind of.
Pretty much. Like my friend's girlfriend does tattoos. Yeah. And I was like, can I give you a tattoo? And she's like, sure. She has like a million like random ass tattoos. And I did it, and it's a lot. It was frightening to me. Like with the tattoo gun, I've done stick and pokes and shit, which is like way more chill. But doing with the gun, I kept feeling like I'm gonna like hurt you. And I was like,
the art of getting it just like for me. The right level of into the dermis or epidermis or whatever it is. Like, I just don't. Shout out to tattoo artists. Yeah, what a talent.
Shit's crazy. Yeah. My girlfriend though is a really good visual artist, and she just started doing tattoos. So before she left, she was giving me some tattoos on my leg. Yeah, and they're all like they're like look really good.
That's tight.
And they seem to be healing well as well, which is like a whole other thing.
How long have you guys been together?
Maybe like 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Not that long.
Because you've mentioned her a few times. People usually avoid like talking about their SOs on these
guys. Just because I miss her right now.
And so that's why I was like, oh, this must be so serious. Like maybe they've been together for years.
Nah.
Now in 6 months, when you listen to this, you'll be like, oh, I miss when I had a girlfriend. No, I'm just fucking with you. Shout out to your girl. She's dope. Where's the weirdest place that you've gotten tattooed? Like the location?
Just nothing that crazy. Just like in houses. Oh, actually, I used to when I was like a teenager, I worked at this car wash where I was like just a cashier. Yeah. So I would just sit in this room all day, and I like had my laptop. I would like watch TV shows, like listen to music and bullshit. And people would like self-serve car wash and like come through, and I just like take their money. And I used to sit in there and give myself stick and
no
poke.
Shit. That's very funny.
Which is funny. And then just like hotel rooms and like houses, but nothing too fucked up. You
probably are like never go to shops, I would imagine at this point.
Not that often. Yeah. Because I have enough friends who will do it that'll like come to the crib, but in other cities, I go to shops because I know people who work at shops, but I don't, for some reason, don't really know anyone that works at a shop here.
I feel like in Los Angeles, a lot of the really great tattooers are kind of like farther down, like in that Whittier area or like Orange County-ish or something. I did notice that you only have the one little like sideburn tattoo. You're lacking the SoundCloud Wave face tats.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to do that, or are you going to hold off?
I think I'm too old now to do that.
Don't say that. What did I tell you? You can't say that.
Shit, you're right. But nah, probably not. I almost got one once.
Yeah.
I had a stencil on here. I was going to get a little bat on my cheek. And then I was like, you know what? I had like just finished getting tattooed before it, and like had that on as well, like while I was getting the other tattoo. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just like leave this on my face for a couple days and see. And then I was like, it still looks cool, but I just like didn't do it.
I've only ever had the stencil on me and said no. Literally the last time I went to get tattooed, I was going to get something to fill in this little space.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really want to get this tattoo, but it just doesn't fit right there.
It looked kind of weird.
Yeah, it looked weird. It was like a weird place. So I was like, never mind. I'll think of something else to get there. Blah, blah, blah.
Did you get it somewhere else, or you just like?
I haven't yet. I haven't been back, but I will get it somewhere. So the story is my father died in February, and he only ever had one tattoo. And in my eyes, it was like the worst tattoo ever. It was like so funny. He left on a tour of duty in the Air Force.
Yeah.
And came back with a fucking yin yang that was on fire.
That's sick.
On his calf. I mean, here's the thing is that was in like 1996 though.
Yeah.
And it was like super 80s. So if he would have done that in like 88, I would have been like, oh my God, my dad's so sick. Look at his fucking TNC Surf Factory fucking ass tattoo.
Hell yeah.
But when he came back in 96, I was like, it was like when, it was when like tribal tattoos were really big and barbed wires and shit like that. Now they're back. And I was just like, why did you get that stupid tattoo?
That's
Look how
so
80s
funny.
But so now I'm like, now that he's dead, I might as well get his one tattoo that he had somewhere.
Yeah.
I just got to find the right place for it to fit. So we'll
That's
see.
sick.
What's up next for you, man?
I've been working on a bunch of music.
Yeah.
A lot of different stuff at the same time. Because I'm kind of like, I'm going in a bunch of directions at once with like internally, and then I'm just trying to figure it all out. Like I'm just like making it all, and then I'm gonna piece it together afterwards.
Yeah, find the themes after they're all finished.
Yeah, and see what I like and what still sticks with me in a bit and what doesn't. And then I think I'm just found out today that I might be going on tour again soon. But but I'm not sure. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't ever, until things are locked in, I'm like, it probably won't happen.
Right.
Because, like, sometimes shit just falls through.
Do you enjoy touring?
Yeah, I do.
That's good because I feel like,
Yeah, I like playing shows. It's cool. I spent a lot of time in the past playing shitty shows. So playing shows where people
show up
and like it is nice.
Yeah.
It's like tiring. Like this last like long tour, by the end, I was like, I'm so happy to be home.
Yeah.
And I was even like happy to be sick because then it meant like I couldn't do anything, even if I was like wanting to.
Well, like I was saying when our correspondence leading up to this is like that fucking post-tour depression is super real.
It is
like
real.
I just can't leave the couch for a couple of days,
No.
maybe a week or so,
It's true.
It's like
maybe still to this
day.
day.
Like, oh man, it sticks with you,
It's so weird to go from like being so scheduled and having shit to do all the time to like
and getting to have that extreme high every day.
The rush.
And then all of a sudden you're back in like Echo Park or wherever and it's just like you go to the grocery store and people are you're just a normal Joe Schmo again.
Just at Whole Foods making a salad.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And people, nobody's like, oh, fuck. Well, like, let's wait in line for his autograph, you know?
It's true.
And that's a hard thing to like cope
adjust.
with those ups and downs.
Yeah.
You know? Do you have like a full release project or is it mostly all singles right now?
I have like two I called them EPs.
Yeah.
There's two projects I've done that were 9 songs each.
Okay.
Which is like the worst number of songs. It's like right on the cusp
kind of an
both
album,
things.
kind of, yeah.
And then a lot of singles.
All the singles are like moving. They all have a lot of streams, man.
Yeah, I hope people keep streaming them. They're doing okay.
Yeah, I think they're doing great.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
I need that bag, so
yeah, secure
chasing the check.
Exactly.
And then I don't know, I want to do like probably some more singles soon and like more. I'm shooting another video soon. I'm trying to just do that
On the green screen?
Single videos, yeah, on the basement green screen.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do like single videos for a bit, and then maybe do just like an EP.
Hell yeah.
And then, because I don't know, I feel like albums are too long.
Yeah, the attention spans are getting short.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, singles are a very efficient way to like just get famous now.
It's true.
You don't even need albums per se.
No,
Yeah.
you just need one song,
Right.
one song only.
That's it. It's
Ball
not the days
hard,
of lyrical
motherfuckers
spiritual
wanna
Mary.
find me, you know.
Yeah, that's right. I think that we did what we came to do.
Hell
So that being said, tell the people where they can find you online.
You can find me, Twitter at Smrtdeath, Instagram at Sloppy Makeout, Smrtdeath.rip website. Buy a t-shirt, support me.
Yeah, buy a tee. Smrtdeath on Twitter is with no A, right?
No A, right? Smrtdeath,
That's
A.
how you spell your name in general.
That's
no
how it's
A.
spelled, yeah.
And is it all lowercase on some E.E. Cummings shit, or do you capitalize it?
It's all lowercase. It has a capital S on Spotify, and I can't figure out how to make it all lowercase on Spotify.
I think you control your Spotify page. Like
Yeah.
You have. I feel like there's a way to edit it there, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. For some, when I tried to put it in all lowercase when I first made it, and they were like, "You can't."
Oh, that's whack.
But I see people all lowercase on there. Maybe that's some label sorcery that I need. Or
That's
something.
probably what it is. I'll bet you.
I'm gonna sign a deal for a blue check on Twitter and a lowercase S on Spotify.
You're not. You don't have. You're not verified.
I'm not verified. It's some bullshit.
Yeah, that is. It's.
I like complaining about it. I don't care that much,
Yeah,
but I care
no
a
one
little
actually
bit.
cares. But it is funny sometimes when you come across a verified person who has like 900 followers or
Yeah.
something, and you're like, "Why the fuck? Why are you verified?" You know,
And
what
they'll
I'm saying?
verify any journalist.
Right,
They
it's-
don't care.
yeah,
You
it's
could work
so
at
strange.
like the Poop Times.
Right, or if you just like worked at Twitter or anywhere in the tech industry at some point, they're
Yeah,
like, oh yeah,
oh.
you have a check.
For sure.
Yeah.
Or you could work at the Diarrhea Times from Nathan For You, and they'll verify you. That guy's probably verified. You watch that
That's
show?
true. I love Nathan For You.
So
it's
good.
so cringy. Oh my god,
He's really good.
So uncomfortable.
He's Canadian.
Go follow Smrtdeath on Twitter, Sloppy Makeout on Instagram, and look for more music coming soon. Go stream Pink Lemonade, his newest single.
Hell yeah. Stream the fuck out of it.
Go stream it. Go find that Backpack Rap record if you can find it and tease him for it. That said, my name is Lee. Some of you guys might know me as Intuition, and you can find me online at It's Intuition across all the platforms. And this was You Feel Me, Skullcandy's podcast, where we talk to artists and athletes about life and culture. We talked about all those things today.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, that's it. Look for Smrtdeath.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, peace.